Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Passive Buddies podcast. I forgot what we were doing then. Today we are talking about selling with confidence, sales tips, sales techniques, and of course, we've got a nice, confident salesman, someone who could sell ice to Eskimos, and could say other things, but they might call me racist, so I'm not even going to bother. We have got our co-host Brandon Duff, who is a top sales guy. How are you, buddy?
I am doing amazing. How are you?
Good, mate. I'm excited for this episode because the last time we done like a real in-depth sales podcast, we plastered it absolutely everywhere, give it to our students and everything because it was just fire. So I'm excited about this one, mate, and excited about the tips and techniques that we pull out in today's episode.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to share some knowledge bombs for sure.
Awesome. So, like, when you go into sales, and it happens, doesn't it? Like, you have to believe you're going not to be a pushy salesman, but you have to believe that you're going to get the sale. You have to have that confidence in, and that goes with anything, doesn't it? Anything successful, like that confidence needs to be there, doesn't it? So, like, how do you get yourself prepped into like, yeah, I'm gonna do this one, I'm gonna close this one, I'm gonna have having that confidence to actually nail it. Like, where does that come from?
Wow, that's a hard one. I think that oh man, I think that just fitness, I think, is probably one of the things that has caused me to be very confident. I think having successes also builds confidence. I think just having things that you can look back on and be like, I'm awesome because of this, and this is something that you can use to kind of help build that confidence into whatever sales or whatever situation you're going into. If you can look back on something that you were confident in, I think I'm just, because um I've work out consistently. I can see the changes in my body consistently. That can I can see that progress shows, builds confidence in myself. Looking back at what I've done allows me to know that I'm proficient and professional in what I do. And so I think that if you can find something that you can look back on, if that's fitness, if that's one thing you did great, like maybe in school you're an A+ student, you can look back on that moment and use that as a confidence booster. I think NLP,
Neuro linguistic programming.
yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Is helps with that. I've never taken anything, but little things like that. I think Tony Robbins teaches things like where you push like your pinky when you need like something, like there's like little things he does, like pounds his chest when he needs a confidence booster. Little things like he creates I think they're called anchors, where you're attaching something like a physical touch or a particular sound that you create with a particular memory. And in doing so, it re-triggers that memory, which then re-triggers that emotion. And then that allows you to experience that emotion. If that's a huge pleasure of happiness or confidence or whatever that is. So I think being able to look back on something or be proud of who you are in everyday life helps with going into any kind of sales thing and knowing that you're going to kill it, because you just have that kind of, I don't want to say cockiness to you, but that confidence to you, or that reassurance.
That confidence, like it comes through, and like I use it all the time. The example in football, a hell of a lot, and in sports in general. I think we've spoken about it in the past, haven't we? Like that confidence comes from game pictures, like playing the game over and over and over and over again. Now, the more you play, the more you know if the ball comes in at this angle and someone's making the run, you know where to play it. You know if you need to pass it off or run, like, you know, like all these different things because you play the game over and over again. Like, to get that confidence in sales, you just got to go and sell. Like, you've just got to
Yeah.
say it was door to door, and like you knock on the first door and you're proper like closed up, and you're like, oh hi, like, and you get and you go, right, okay, well, what could I do better next time? Like, where did he switch off? And you go, right, try being open, try being more power, like, and then each time you play the game, you get a better picture, you get a better, like, how you handle that objection, how you like create that YouTube video, and how you present that pitch on a challenge, like all of these different things. Like, the more you play the game, the more pictures you have, when the scenarios come in, you know how to handle them. So gaining confidence is about gaining experience. Like, yes, you can motivate yourself, and you can go, yeah, as you say, like, yeah, right. Like, for instance, we were talking when we last Monday, and I was just about to do the first day of the 5-day challenge. I'm nervous. I've not done one of these for a while. I was like, we've got a lot of people coming. I was like, I'm a little bit nervous. I was like, but I've done these. I was like, I've done them in the past. I was like, so music goes on, and like you create that pump, like, to get going, and then your experience takes over. So you have to go and get the experience, regardless whether it feels comfortable or uncomfortable. It's the same with like anything. Like, you have to keep playing the game, and then it's just say, Brandon, it's not cockiness, it's confidence, and you know what you're doing. Like, you've played the game, you know the game, you know how that objection works, and with that type of personality type, and all these different things to actually go and get the sale.
Yeah, and I'll give you 3 examples that through your whole speech it just popped in my head, and they're probably to do with you. One, you kind of mentioned it on pictures. You think, why do you think athletes watch not highlight reels but game time reels, or whatever they're called, replays? Is like, I remember being in football, real football, not soccer, and
Sorry, did you play with your foot? No.
yeah, I played rugby before.
That's crap as well.
No way, it's like the best sport ever. But we watch game time film, and we would be like, this is where we screwed up, this is how we can do better. We would watch other players, and so we knew that when this person, dipped his shoulder right a little bit right before the snap, they were going right. And we would watch the films of other teams to know what they're doing, and watch our own films to see how we can improve. And through the repetitive actions of seeing that and visualizing it, you can literally increase your confidence in whatever you're doing. And watching those replay films and visualizing, you're actually embedding and training yourself to do better, even if you haven't had another sales call. It's because you've visualized it, you've thought of ways you can do better. And I'll give you an example. A guy came asked to join our program, and I told him the cost. He's like, "Oh, that's expensive." And I was like, "Okay, well, blah blah blah." And I was talking to Brian about this, and I said, "Man, I wish I would have said this." And I after looking back on it, I was like, "Man, I wish I would have said this instead," because I know that the conversation could have gone differently. And I think I said okay, or something like that, but I should have said compared to what, because then it keeps the dialogue going. Because he's saying it's expensive, and compared to what? Like, comparing to waiting, wasting the next 2 years not making any money, and spending hundreds of dollars on courses that don't get you anywhere, or actually joining the free 5-day challenge, or joining our cash flow community and learning how to build freedom for yourself and doing it in 90 days or whatever. And so what's more expensive, the hundreds or thousands of dollars you spent, and the 2 years of time you wasted, or this? And it's relative, right? So what's more expensive? And so it's having that practice and learning and visualizing and practicing and taking the shots, and having that confidence all these things allow you to do better in sales, because the more times people can be like, oh, it's too expensive, or I have to talk to my wife, or I need to talk to my husband, or I'm in this other program, or whatever. You have now all these extra tools in your tool belt where you can be like rebuttal, 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 and or overcome objection, overcome objection. All these little things that you could be like, to get to the point of these people are just making excuses. They really just need this, and this is why they need it, because it's to change their lives. And to kind of go back to that, it's having that confidence that whatever it is that you're selling, not only in yourself, and that's kind of the first half of this, but having confidence in what you're actually selling will do what it is that is intended to do. Because if you're confident in yourself but you're selling a shitty product, then you're not going to be, those things clash. And if you're super confident in yourself but you're like, oh, this product's shitty, then like you're going to feel irresponsible for trying to push that onto someone else. But then again, and this is probably going to be the kicker that probably is going to upset a lot of people, but the people that are pushing the things that don't get people results, and people that are not confident in themselves, both of those are why 90% of people fail online, is because they're not confident in themselves, and they're not confident in the product they're pushing. And so it's the blind leading the blind. And why 93% of people fail online is because, one, they're not confident about themselves, but two, they're not confident about the product, that the transformation that the product gives.
And yeah, it does develop an internal conflict, but massively if you don't believe in the product, or don't believe in the delivery once you've sold it. Like when we were going through our agency, and like we had a patch in our agency where like Ian would be on sales calls, and because he was involved or knew about the operations and the fulfillment and the struggles we were having at that time, his closing rate dropped. He wasn't doing anything different on a call. He just knew subconsciously that if he closed this deal, we'd probably give them a bad experience at that point in time. And it was interesting how that happened, and sales dropped in our business because he didn't believe that we could fulfill the promise that he was promising them. And it was really interesting how we watched that like turn around and change by getting some sales in and doing like a really good job. And then his sales, like again, nothing changed. Nothing changed from his closing ability or anything. His commit, like his sales conversions went back up because we could prove that we could do it. Now, if someone's joined a high ticket program and they've just gone and thrown out $3,500 or more on a program, and they're like, right, this really works, and but they're teaching them like hamster wheel tactics, or they're not teaching them business in general, but just a bit of hype. Like soon that hype dies, and like from after like the first couple of videos and the hyped up marketing, it's like yeah, let's just go, and I get parts of it, but if the program's got nothing else behind it, then apart from just a load of hyped up, just get on your hamster wheel and run till you die, like you're gonna struggle massively when it comes to month 2, when you've not seen any success. Month 3, when it's the biggest dropout percentage at month 3. Like if you've got nothing more that can show you the development, show you the wins, you're really going to struggle, because you would have lost all confidence in that product. So Brandon's completely right. Confidence in yourself comes through banging that drum and like doing that work, and then confidence in the product, like seeing actual improvement or seeing the promise that you actually want to deliver on, making sure that actually is there and it's not just a load of hype.
Yeah, and a lot of these programs will really manipulate you with hype, because they'll have you, go and comment on each other's posts. They'll be at, what do they call, like engagement groups, right? So these engagement groups will think like you're getting all this engagement since joining this program because they're commenting, and kind of kick the can down the curb, so to speak, or the street down, so to speak. But really you need to learn how to build a business. And that's why it's so important, because like if you don't have a business and all you're doing is, affiliate marketing is great. There is amazing products out there, but say for instance, you're only pushing one product and then that company goes belly up, then you're kind of out of luck. I mean, I see this all the time with these high ticket affiliate programs, is they'll create all this hype, create this engagement group, get everyone to engage with each other, and then they'll get away with that. Once the hype dies down, the high ticket sales start slowing down, then they decide to start another program, and then there's another cost associated with that, or they decide to get off the whole online space, and now your business is gone because you didn't actually learn the skills on how to grow a proper online affiliate business by creating automations, pretty much all the things we talk in our podcast. We also have a 5-day free affiliate Kickstarter challenge coming up, so definitely check out that if you really want to do affiliate marketing correctly versus these other programs that teach you how to be an employee.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But like, it's just crazy, obviously, what goes on. So coming through and getting those confidence in the sales is like when you try different things, like when those objections come in and you tried and you try different ways. Well, that didn't work. I said that last time, like Brandon said before, that didn't work last time. Right, let's try this. And that testing will build that confidence. And by testing more objections and getting on more in DMs or more sales calls or like all these different things, the more you do, the confidence increases. Believing in the product, the confidence increases, and selling something that is actually like gives you longevity and gives you the promise that you're trying to sell, again, will increase everything about the sales and increase those sales themselves. Nailed?
Yep, nailed.
Awesome. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. As Brandon said, there is a 5-day affiliate Kickstarter challenge completely for free. The link will be below or in the show notes or the description. Look forward to seeing you inside there. Come and get to know us a little bit more. Come and learn even more than just obviously what's on the podcast. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.